What's going on, YouTube? Shout out to my Red Pill Army. Stand up. We flexing and we strong in this piece. Shout out to y'all. All right? So, it's your boy Moose back here for another spicy ass video. And what we get into today, y'all, we talking about this economy, this world economy. And also, we talking about how their financial planners, people who are been involved in finances for the last 30, 20 years or so, talking about some kind of great reset. Okay? Some great reset of our economy. So, we know what this pandemic has done to ravage the middle class and lower class, and how a lot of these upper class people, they was caking during when the pandemic first broke out. Well, in terms of stocks and bonds, they made a killing. So they were privy to some kind of economic information, financial information that people in other classes, like in the middle, lower classes, weren't privy to. So we talking about the Great Reset, man. What has been touted by in the mainstream media as, what do we know, a conspiracy theory. But before I get started on that, I do just want to shout out to my man, Young Pharaoh. So shout out to you, Young Pharaoh. You putting the culture on your back, man. You exposing these people, man. You trying to bring down the establishment, man. All we gotta do is we rock with you, bruh. We rock with you. We support you all the way, man. All right. Like, we gonna tear them out the frame with your ass. So again, just want to shout out my man, Young Pharaoh. All right. So I implore y'all to go check out his channel. Go back and watch some of his videos because he's getting a lot of blowback in the media. The mainstream media is basically saying that this man is a conspiracy theorist and that he doesn't believe in the doctrine of the Judaism, which frankly I don't either. But that's a different story for another video. All right. So like I said, we're gonna talk about the Great Reset. All right. So get your notepads out, get your pencils out, your gel pens, all that. Stop sleeping in the back of the class because we know you sleeping. All right? We need to wake up. Get them crusties out your eye and just go. All right? So the Great Reset. What is it? All right? So really, it's an initiative that started, well, it was started by the World Economic Forum. Okay? That was designed to get global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. So kind of like I was saying earlier, there's a change in terms of the economy, in terms of basically like a lot of rich people made an incredible killing in stocks during the pandemic. All right. They're able, and also, how many people lost their business? How many small businesses got decimated in the last 12 months because of this? All right. So, the rich were getting richer, the poor stay broke. And middle, you in the middle, you're breaking even. Yeah. So, you basically becoming lower class, I guess I can say, if you're in the middle. But moving on. All right. Now, the following, I'm going to read a direct quote that's coming from the official website of the World Economic Forum. All right. So this is a direct quote. There is an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate and simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. To improve the state of the World Economic Forum is starting the Great Reset Initiative. And mainstream will tell you that this shit does not exist and that it's a conspiracy. See what's happening here? Okay. All these big tech companies are aligned with a lot of these media members and other media outlets. Okay? They're all in conjunction, rubbing each other's back, scratching each other's back. All right? So the New York Times put out fake news when they told us all that the Great Reset is a conspiracy theory. But it's not. You see how the government, not even our government, the governments around the world are just printing money at a mass rate for people who don't qualify, or people who are qualified to meet these economic standards to be able to get unemployment or a stimulus check or some kind of a PPE loan for the small businesses that's been decimated by the pandemic. All right? It's not a conspiracy theory, though. Shit is fucking real. You see what these people are doing? Just inflating inflating the economy, essentially, and just gonna make the actual fiat currency is gonna inflate it so much that the dollar is not gonna be worth anything. We're gonna be living in a real banana republic by 2030. Do y'all research on what that is. All right? We're gonna be walking around with cash barrels, with barrels full of cash dollars just to go get some milk. All right, walking. That's what happened in Kenya, or I forget. It's some African nation. I have to do my research on that, but essentially, we gonna be walking around with barrels full of cash, trying to go pay for some damn bread and milk and honey on top of that. So, if people out there ain't trying to succumb to what's gonna happen in the next few years, which I see in the next decade is gonna be a huge economic collapse to the highest order. Maybe something like not like the likes of 1920s, maybe the Great Depression era, probably worse. Okay, so shit's gonna get rough. So I implore y'all, if y'all watching this video, make sure y'all invest in the cryptocurrencies, man. I mean, I'm sure everyone already knows if you ain't been living under a goddamn rock, but you got the time is now. Start investing into cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto art as well. Crypto art, it's like it's kind of basically like these one-of-a-kind art pieces, very rare art pieces that are created, and they're not the most distinguished art pieces. Okay, I'll just say that. But these are pieces of art that essentially you buy as a collector and sell on the digital landscape in the digital marketplace, and they are worth thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars because there'll be only one unique painting or artwork in existence. So I implore y'all, if y'all watching this video, make sure y'all start doing your investments. All right, keeping it moving. Now, according to the World Economic Forum, the Great Reset is a unique window of opportunity for global leaders to shape the future state of global relations, the direction of national economies, the priorities of societies, the nature of business models, and the management of a global commons. Okay. Now, that just seemed like a lot of word jargon, essentially. But essentially, it's some kind of economic reset. So, the man behind the Great Reset is a man named Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab. We'll go with that. Now, he is the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum. And here's what he said, to quote, "To achieve a better outcome, the world must act jointly and swiftly to revamp all aspects of our societies and economies, from education to social contracts, and working conditions. Every country, from the United States to China, must participate, and every industry from oil and gas to tech must be transformed. In short, we need a great reset of capitalism." The man literally said it himself. He quoted it himself. But, If you was to question the mainstream media, oh, media matters, that George Soros owned media platform, or how about Snopes? Bill Gates owned media platform, and I'm not gonna go into those two right now. If y'all watching this video, or if you know anything about my sort of content, you know exactly who those type of men are. Okay, so we don't need to go into that. I'll say that for another video. All right. But there's been countless books, countless documents, articles, whatever, countless videos on YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey about all this stuff. So again, I implore y'all, do y'all research. All right. Keeping it moving. Now, like I said, he is very open about the fact that he wants to revamp all aspects of our societies and economies. That's essentially what that quote was stating. Okay? When they're talking about transformation of our societies and economies, what does that mean? What does that mean exactly? Well, everything's being transformed by the pandemic. So you're going to have whole sections of industry either being destroyed or being created by this. Okay, so it's going to add new elements to our economy. Okay? Unforeseen elements. And then when he also says of our societies. So essentially what I mean, the pandemic has transformed our society and our economies. Okay? I mean, look, you hear them talking about some RFID chip, stating that basically that in the future they're trying to have us all have our currency in our palm, so that way they'll get rid of all types of fiat currency and digital currency. Okay? So, like, whatever you take from this video, just make sure y'all invest it into your own cryptocurrency. That's all I can really implore. That's the biggest thing we need to take away from this. Okay? But this also states that that means that all aspects of human activity will fall under his Great Reset plan. But in particular, he very much wants a great reset of capitalism. Okay? And that's it. Like, I got plenty other information. I've actually attached a couple videos to the end of this clip of me talking. So make sure y'all stay and watch to the end of the video. You know, like I said, give me a like, subscribe. Just trying to get this channel to grow a little bit. You know, I feel like this is a good platform to be able to talk to people about what's happening in the world, about really what's happening behind closed doors and beyond what you can really pry and get from the mainstream narrative. Okay? If 2020 has taught you anything, is that we all need to do our own independent research. And we can't just take all the information that's given to us for granted. We have to fact check it. We have to at least, you know, have like some kind of perspective on it where we could say, all right, where we can essentially basically say we could criticize what information they're providing to us, like, or we can question the validity of it. Okay, I feel like a lot of people, and I feel like it's older generations, but younger generations too. But there's a lot more people who are hip to this kind of, you know, going to like a third source or like a second source, not going to the mainstream sources. We need to make sure that we're doing our own due diligence and not just listen to what the mainstream tells you on the TV and these articles, because it's very easy to be swayed by this shit. But we know there's so many things that this government, this media has lied to us about, and they're still doing today. Today, y'all. So like I said, just make sure y'all watch the other videos I got lined up. I got some chopped up. Should be pretty interesting and entertaining to watch. And yeah, man. Like I said, we need to do our own independent research, cause they ain't gonna tell you the truth. Mainstream ain't gonna tell you the truth, and the truth hurts. Truth hurts, yo. All right, peace.
Ha! So the Twitter user Richie McGinnis just tweeted, if one clip from my camera roll sums up 2020, it's this one, and I believe he's absolutely accurate. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Okradowski of WeAreChange.org. Happy frickin' New Year! We made it! Congratulations for surviving a crazy, turbulent, insane year. If we have time in this video, I'm gonna go over my year in review. But personally, there's so much news, especially about the Great Reset, from the latest Time magazine disinformation propaganda puff piece, with, of course, the latest announcement from Wall Street that has officially begun the process. That is the Great Reset. Something, of course, that as a critical thinking independent media outlet, we are automatically against, and we even made merchandise specifically stating so. Cheesy plug, yes, you could get this shirt right now. Say no to the Great Reset on teesprings.com/stores/. We are changed. The link is down in the description below. So yeah, lots of important news to break down on that front, so we'll see if we have time during this absolutely strange, confusing year, where now police officers are literally gathering together to make sure that people aren't gathering together in Times Square. Whoever would have thought that 1 year from now, if you were told that police officers are going to make gatherings illegal, especially in Times Square, especially during the New Year's, you wouldn't believe them. You wouldn't think that's possible, but that's exactly what's happening right now. And as New York City's finest and brightest that protect and serve you all the time are making sure... Oh, Lordy, what is... what is happening in New York City, which is absolutely breaking down in utter freaking chaos from what we're seeing from the outside. I have family and friends there. They're not happy with the current state of events. There's angry squirrels attacking people down the street because they are hungry and can't find any food. And now imagine what's going to happen to the hordes of unprepared individuals living on top of each other when that situation translates from the natural world to the real world. Yeah, I don't know about you, but maybe that's not the smartest strategic place to be in, and this year I actually finally moved out of that city hellscape, and I'm happier than ever. Started my year off on a farm in Pennsylvania, transitioned into the Free State Project in New Hampshire. I now was supposed to be in Florida working on some sustainable hippie commune, but I've been stuck here at Temple's parking lot, and I've been co-hosting the Timcast IRL show, which have been pretty fun. I don't know how long I'm going to keep doing this. We'll see. We're still kind of playing it out, but as you know, we don't quit, so you could definitely expect more crazy, insane, exciting things in 2021 than even our flamethrower 2020 bash government pedo-connected scarecrow scavenger hunt, which of course we had in New Hampshire with our survival courses. And yes, now I'm teaching survival courses. It has been an absolutely wild year that has tested everyone, especially myself. And hey, this was the year where the alleged conspiracy theorists were more accurate with their predictions than the quote experts. So yeah, we got that going for us. Also, never coming back to New York City ever again. The murder rate literally surged 41% this year. It's only going to go up in 2021, especially when you look at the larger economic ramifications coming our way soon that will have a tsunami reckoning on our social and political life. Something, of course, created by establishment elites that are now telling you that they have the solution to the problem that they caused. That solution is, of course, the Great Reset, which we're going to get into in just a little bit. Make sure to, of course, see that you are subscribed and notified to this channel. Many people are unsubscribed. To get more information from us, go to wearechange.org and sign up on our email list. We also have many ways where you could help us and get directly involved on wearechange.org/donate. For the few that do, sincerely love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and just sincerely thank you. Now, let's talk about that great reset and, of course, the term Build Back Better that has been a major talking point for many ruling establishment elites for a very long time now. People have to understand this larger concept of the Great Reset isn't something new. It's been around for a while, and it's been advocated by many elites that are now trashing the economy, becoming richer than ever, while creating the largest income gap between the rich and the poor that we have recently seen in our modern times. Many globalist organizations years ago were using the term Build Back Better, and it's important to also understand that this is the major slogan and talking point of the Joe Biden presidency that literally makes this a staple of their platitudes that they promise with their very open, generalized, generic language. The same Biden administration that is devoted to the radical Great Reset movement, even according to their own administration members like John Kerry, who said himself the Biden administration supports the Great Reset and will, quote, will happen with greater speed and with greater intensity than a lot of people might imagine. The PR propaganda disinformation efforts have been ramped up to push this larger Great Reset, with, of course, Time magazine recently coming out partnering with the World Economic Forum, highlighting how this sickness, quote, provided a unique opportunity to think about the kind of future we want. We, not really meaning me and you, we meaning the Pope, the Rothschilds, the World Economic Forum, the IMF, the World Bank, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, all of which have advocated, along with the Rothschild Foundation that's bringing together the Ford Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, along with the Pope, who want to redefine capitalism. Those individuals are who they mean by we, because all of those individuals are the ones that are advocating for this Great Reset. The future, of course, will be shaped by them, and to think that this is done in some kind of consensus by the people is absolutely ridiculous and naive to think. So just on that basis, Time magazine is absolutely wrong, but they continue on with their post. Time partnered with the World Economic Forum to ask leading thinkers to share ideas about how to transform the way we live and work. Now again, this is not new talk that we've seen. We've seen it a couple weeks ago with many think tanks and corporate organizations saying that this is a great opportunity to push the Great Reset. Then the mainstream media, specifically the New York Times, said you're a crazy conspiracy theorist if you think there's a Great Reset agenda, and now we're back on the propaganda push effort with not only Time magazine pushing the larger talking points here, but also the major move made by Wall Street right now that many people say has begun the Great Reset. But before we get into that, of course we need to understand some of the proposals that these individuals are pushing. Of course, they're trying to make it seem that when you own no property, when you actually own nothing, when you have no privacy, that somehow you'll be happier than ever. And again, when you see their rhetoric, it's just very open, bland language about equality and fairness.
I consider the Trump administration a danger to the world that will disappear in 2020.
What if I told you that Bill Gates, Greta Thunberg, Al Gore, George Soros, Prince Charles, and Cardinal Turkson were meeting in the mountains to plot a global new order to be established on the back of the COVID pandemic? An outrageous movie plot, or is it absolutely true?
And so here's the thing, friends. We need to get very serious about it. We need to have a serious conversation about it. Here at The Remnant, we've been saying since March, since the outset of this thing, that it's not the virus that we're questioning. I don't want to get the virus. I know you don't. I know some of you have lost loved ones or friends or whatever from the virus. I've known quite a few folks now who've gotten it. I don't know anyone who died. Everyone who I know, thanks be to God, has recovered. But it was never the virus that's the problem. It's the political exploitation of the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, that really, really must give all of us now serious cause for concern about the future. They're not playing games here. This isn't going anywhere. This isn't going away. And don't take my word for it. I wouldn't expect you to do that anyway. Let's talk about Davos, Switzerland. Here's where the leaders of the world are admitting exactly what I'm saying, that this is a Trojan horse. Now in Davos, they call it the Great Reset. And it's scheduled now to kick off in January 2021. And if you want to know what's really going on here, if you want to know why the schools are probably, many of them are not going to open in the fall, if you want to know why you're wearing that dehumanizing face mask, even in your car, look to Davos.
Now is the historical moment, the time, not only to fight the real virus, but to shape the system.
We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path.
What is it that would make it so that history would look at this crisis as the great opportunity for reset?
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call.
The world's problems fit on three sides of a triangle. It's one versus many, man versus nature, and the unfortunate foundation is long-term versus short-term.
Any recovery stimulus should have green conditions attached to it.
We have to change our economies dramatically in the next 20 or 30 years, and the next 10 years is absolutely decisive.
The recovery has to be greener than any of the previous recoveries.
And then we need to couple that with new initiatives to equip more people with the digital skills they'll need.
We have to live up to the expectations which we have created, and we will do so.
On June 2nd, 2020, just a couple months ago, the founder now of the World Economic Forum in Davos, Klaus Schwab, wrote an article on their website in which he just comes right out with it. He says that COVID pandemic represents a, quote, rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world, end quote. Those aren't my words. Those are his words. The world must act jointly and swiftly, says Mr. Schwab, to, quote, revamp all aspects of our societies and economies, from education to social contracts and working conditions. Every country, from the United States to China, must participate, and every industry, from oil and gas to tech, must be transformed, end quote. And Mr. Schwab comes right out and admits that he can't do this without, you guessed it, Bill Gates.
We are particularly committed to this initiative since the Forum has been at the origin in its annual meeting in Davos of the Global Fund, Gavi and CEPI, together with the Gates Foundation and other founders of those crucial organizations, particularly today.
And they're all there. All the movers and shakers of the world are in Davos at one time or another. Even Prince Charles, the insufferable Prince of Wales, got into the act in Davos.